Hi there and welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking all about my TBR for September 2025. In this video, I've broken the books up into different categories of which books I'm going to read and why I want to read them. So first up, let's start with the arcs that I have. These are books that are coming out in September that I got advanced reader copies for, so obviously I want to read them before the day that they come out so I can write my review. Some of these I will also be posting full review videos here on YouTube for, so you can look out for those if any of these books sound interesting to you. The first one up is Girl Next Door by Rachel Meredith, and I've actually already read this one. I am filming this on September 4th, so already 4 days into the month, and I've gotten a little bit of reading done. So I will have a full review coming out on this one next week if you're interested in it. But basically this one is about our main character, MC, who finds out that this best-selling sapphic romance is actually about her, and she has to go back to her hometown to try and figure out what's going on. The next arc that I have to read on my list is Middle Spoon by Alejandro Varela. This is another queer book, and it's all about heartbreak, and I haven't gotten to this one yet, so I'm excited to read it. I'll just go ahead and read you a little blurb for this one. The narrator of Middle Spoon appears to be living the life. He has a doting husband, 2 precocious children, all the comforts of a quiet life, and a sexy younger boyfriend to accompany him to farmers markets and cocktail parties. But when his boyfriend abruptly dumps him, he spirals into heartbreak for the first time and must confront a world still struggling to understand polyamorous relationships. Up next on my arcs is The Austen Affair by Madeline Bell. This one is about 2 actors in an adaptation of Northanger Abbey, and the actors are sent back in time to the period when that book actually took place. So I'm super interested in this one and I can't wait to read it. Next on my list of arcs is We Met Like This by Casey West. This one is a romance that's set around dating apps. When Margot gets fired from her job on the same day she meets Oliver again, her life becomes a veritable shit show. Her dream career is dying right before her eyes, and Oliver thinks she's interested in only one thing, a repeat of the hot makeout session they had 3 years ago, so she can get him out of her system. And maybe that is all she wants from him, because she and Oliver are definitely not compatible. He doesn't hit the snooze button, he runs 5 miles every morning, and he reads nonfiction. Worst of all, she didn't even meet him in a cute way. Ladies in Hating is a sapphic romance in which 2 novelists get stuck in like a haunted manor together, or at least that's my understanding of it. So I can't wait to read that one, because if it is kind of spooky, I might be able to recommend it for like an October read. Kitty St. Clair's Last Dance by Kate Robb is another arc that I have on my TBR this September, and I want to read this one because the last book I read by Kate Robb I felt like had a lot of potential in the idea, but it just wasn't executed really well. So I'm hoping that this one will have some improvements, and I'm crossing my fingers that I'm really gonna enjoy this book. And then I have 2 that are more like contemporary or literary fiction, and those are Orange Wine and Orpheus Builds a Girl. If you want to see more about what those are about, you can check out my September new releases video. Most of these arcs are actually in that video too, so I probably talk about those in a little bit more depth. But in this TBR video, I want to get to some of my other reading that I'm planning. The last arc on my little arc list for my TBRs is Scream With Me by Eleanor Johnson, and this is a non-fiction about feminism and horror movies, which I feel like is going to be so perfect because I can read it and then see if I can recommend it in October as like a non-fiction spooky read, so that'll be kind of fun. If you watched my new releases video, you know that I was thinking about doing a reading vlog for some of the new releases coming out this month, specifically We Love You Bunny and Thief of Night. My plan was to make that into kind of a 4-book reading vlog where I would read Book of Night and Bunny so that when We Love You Bunny and Thief of Night come out, I would be ready. And the great news is that I was actually approved for an arc of Thief of Night, and I got Book of Night from the library. So now all I need is to get Bunny and then to head out and buy We Love You Bunny on the day it comes out, and I will be set to go for that. So I think I probably am actually gonna do that reading vlog, so you can look out for that coming up. And then there's actually one other new release coming out this month that I'm super excited for, and that is Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. This is another one where I read the first one. I read My Roommate is a Vampire, and I really liked it except for the end. I felt like the ending of that one was super rough. So my TBR may include just Road Trip with a Vampire, or I might also try to squeeze in Vampire Plus One so that I'm like all caught up, any sort of connected tidbits there. But I'm really excited for that one because I feel like 1, vampires are great for getting into spooky season, and 2, I love road trips, I love traveling, and so I feel like it's just kind of the perfect combination for right now. Okay, so moving away from arcs and new releases, I actually had some other books I wanted to read this September, and I was going for something of like a back to school theme. So I thought I would get some dark academia books and check those out, since I don't think I've ever actually read dark academia. So I thought it would be kind of cool to make a little list. And so I tried to just grab some of the like most popular dark academia books. And I believe the only one I don't have that is going on my TBR is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. But that one was just really tied up at the library, so I'm still kind of on a wait list to get it. But I'm pretty confident that it's gonna come through before the end of the month. So let me run through these dark academia books really quick. I'm just gonna do a quick run through of these books because I'm actually gonna do a dark academia reading vlog for them. So if you wanna see more about my experience reading them and my opinions, means you can check that video out when it comes out. So let's just run through these rapid fire. I got A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, Lee Bardugo, Babel or Babel by R.F. Kuang, and The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This one I actually already started, I have to admit. I'm like about halfway through with this one, and I'm really liking it so far. I actually have been kind of out of like fantasy for a while, so it's feeling really good to get back into it because when I was a teenager, I was a huge fantasy reader, like Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff. So it's really fun to like come back to it now that there's a ton of books out there and a ton of recommendations, and I haven't really been keeping up with it. Anyway, I'm loving the magic system in this one, and I'm like hooked to see what's gonna happen with these characters. Okay, and then the final little set of books that I want to read has to do with National Hispanic Heritage Month, which technically starts on September 15th, I think, and goes until October 15th, but I just wanted to plan ahead and I kind of just lumped this into September. So these are the ones that I'm going with. First up are two books that I already had on my shelf, but I just haven't read yet. So that's Anita Del Monte Laughs Last, and then also Amelia Del Valle. I've had both of these books for a while and just not really made it a priority to read them. So I thought for September that would be really fun. And then I also wanted to do something a little more nonfiction. So I picked up Crying in the Bathroom. It's a memoir from the author of I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. And so I thought it would be nice to have a little like nonfiction going on in there too. So that is my TBR for September. And I know that there will inevitably be books I end up reading that are outside of this TBR because I usually like to listen to like nonfiction audiobooks before I fall asleep. And I also, if I get through all of my arcs for September, will try to start on my October arcs just to try and get ahead a little bit. But for the most part, this is my goal. And these are the books that I'm like really hoping that I get read. And a great thing about all of these books that I'm reading is that almost all of them have been sourced without actually having to spend any money. So I got all of the dark academia books from my local library. I picked up two books that I already had on my shelf, and a bunch of these books are also coming from free e-arcs that I'm getting through NetGalley. So if you're someone who wants to plan like a fun TBR like this, I just want you to remember that it doesn't mean you have to go out and spend a ton of money on books. You can always get books from your library. You can even get them digitally from your library through like the Libby app. And also it helps to ask around to your friends and see if they have any books you don't, and if you could do like a book swap for the month. All of that being said, if you are interested in buying any of the books that I mentioned in this video, if you want to get your own copy and come along for the ride with me on my September TBR, you will be able to find all of the links in the description for that. And these are going to a site called bookshop.org because we're not trying to give Amazon any more money on this channel. Bookshop.org will have like the physical copies of those books as well as digital copies of the books. And if you're looking for audiobooks, you should try out Libro FM, which is an alternative to Audible. Okay, so with that little spiel aside, yeah, I just want to thank you for watching this video, and let me know if you have any suggestions for me, any dark academia suggestions, any suggestions for National Hispanic Heritage Month, or if you just want to let me know what you're going to be reading this September. Are you excited for any of the new releases I talked about? And you can just let me know what you're reading this September. As always, you can find me over on Goodreads, Storygraph, and Fable, and thank you so much for watching.